Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, guys. How's everyone doing?
Good morning, Louis. How are you?
Doing amazing.
Good
Let's go ahead and
morning.
get started in just about 2 more minutes. Okay, guys?
I need an appraiser.
Good morning.
In New Jersey?
No, in Georgia.
Good
Oh.
morning, everyone.
Yeah, I have a really good one in New Jersey. Actually, two.
Problem here in Georgia is I can't recommend any. It has to come directly from the lender, conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to come out until the 15th of January.
Mm.
And we
Busy
need to
market?
close. Huh?
Is the market really busy over there?
No, I think these appraisers are jokers.
Oh, I see.
Honestly, I think they know that some things are that all deals here are hung on the balance of their due diligence, and they take advantage of that. Yeah.
Belinda, I have a really good client for you in Georgia.
Say it again, Alejandro.
I have a really good client for you in Georgia.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's my good client for years. He flip
Uh-huh.
houses, he buy, fix them, and sell them. He's moving down there. He asked me if I know somebody, and I thought about you.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be more than happy to represent you proudly.
Great. I'll let you know when he ready down there, okay?
Sounds good. Happy belated birthday, Tammy. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, Tammy.
Thank you.
When was it?
Actually, last Monday. That's why I wasn't on a call. I was away.
Oh, nice. What did you do?
We went to Jamaica. My husband took me to Jamaica. It was nice. Definitely,
nice.
definitely
Fancy.
vacation.
Fancy. Very nice.
Yes.
Bill, you doing all right? I'm gonna say so.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Tabby.
Good morning, Tabby.
Morning, Tabby.
Good morning, Tabby.
Morning, Tabby.
What up, Bill?
Oh, Bill answers Tabby, but he won't answer Belinda. You see that, Sarah?
My apologies, young lady.
I definitely witnessed that. Yes, 100%. 100%.
What's that in your background, Bill? You collect, are those pictures of your family? I can't see.
Yes. Yeah, those are the rare times when my kids and
Aw.
grandkids actually held still.
Very cute.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning,
morning.
Louis.
All right, all right. So I think we have enough people on the
Morning,
call
Louis.
now. We're pretty loaded up. So how was everyone's weekend? You guys crush it?
How was everyone's weekend? You guys crush it?
Any good stories to share?
Any good stories to share?
I think someone here might have me on a separate device. I think that's better. Okay, any stories from this weekend?
Any stories from this weekend? Any wins?
Oh yeah, I did my first interview. So I started my vlogging, journey of getting media.
Mhm.
So I did my first interview with a for sale by owner in Belmar, New Jersey. And it was really good. And it's really cute because in interviewing him, I found out that he's donating 1% of the proceeds to a charity that he's a part of now for many years. So I also have an opportunity to, interview him on that charity. So it's leading to fun things because he has this event called Food Trucks in the Fall, and they're having it in April and in May. So I'm excited because, you learn about all these little things, become part of it.
That sounds awesome. That's good. I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff like that because it not only builds community awareness about what you're doing, but you also get to meet a lot of great people who you could do business with in the future. So that was awesome. Keep it up. Anyone
I
else
got
want to
my-
share?
Yes, I got my first sponsor coming in off of the website. She's in Michigan.
It's for your first sponsee. That's great. Michigan,
Yeah.
huh?
Woo! Yep.
Off of where?
She-
Your website?
No, I'm sorry, not the website, my YouTube.
Your YouTube channel. Look at that. Look at that. It
So
does work.
I am definitely clocking in 100 views a day. And all the other videos are picking up momentum. And I got three of them that I'll be finishing. I'll just be putting those out every other day.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's
good
great.
deal.
Keep it up. If you know it works, if you put a little bit of effort, imagine if you put a lot of effort, that's going to just twice and 3 times your results.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Congrats, Belinda. Can you put your YouTube channel in
Yeah,
the
for real. Put it in the comments.
will do.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and keep going with our training. Then we'll break into some of the discussions right after. Sorry. Give me a second, guys. Let's just make sure we get on the right one. Okay, here we go.
All right, your job in this call is to make sure of a couple of things, okay? Quite a list, actually. Number one, positive attitude, no problem, sir. Be happy to do that for you. I'd love to get that for you. I'm giving you examples. You got to start working this into your presentation. No problem. I'd be happy to. I'd like to get that for you. Positive attitude. B, professional and courteous. Hey, thank you for calling. My name is, okay? You need to be professional. Oh, not like, oh, hey, what can I do? How can I help you? Professional, positive attitude, courteous. C, qualify the buyer as to the specifications as a way to actually answer their questions. Take interest in them and determine what their needs are. D, get buyer's name, get a number and an email, but don't get name, number, and email until you did A, B, and C. E, sell your name, sell your number. F, take notes, use a control card, use a script, use some kind of format. So you got full attention on this caller and you're like, okay, I know what he's looking for. Look, every call is a little different. You need to get your game on when you're doing this. Just like every client that walks in is a little different situation, a little different problems, different opportunities. Look, you got to have a great attitude. You got to have that no problem service kind of attitude. You got to take interest in them. You got to have some kind of format, some steps like a road to the sale. Okay. G, turn your card in. I collected content on this caller. I want to actually turn that in to somebody with management and log these calls in. I want to know who's calling, when they're calling, what they're calling about. You want to collect that and give it to management so they can either help you, so the company, the team can help you. It's not a one-man show. Look, if there's more than a one-man show here, get the other players in the organization to help you. Right? So I want to turn in a card with time, name, interest. It's a log. I want to log in this caller. H, you need to be prepared. I got to be prepared for a call. I don't want to be off doing 54 other things and take a phone call until you get so good that you can do 3 or 4 things at the same time and take the call and do a magic act and cook dinner. But you're probably not there yet. Okay, so be prepared for the call. Okay, I, follow up the call with a text, an email, mail, or a phone call, or all of them. I inundate people. I just bury people and follow up. And J, okay, the last one on this list is use information as a way to separate yourself from the market. So what do I want to do in this call? What are the major points here? Great attitude, okay? I want to be great attitude. Have my complete attention on the caller. Find out what it is they want to solve, okay? These are the basic rules, the basic ingredients to you to get good on this phone call. You can't have a bad attitude. You can't be unprofessional. You can't be discourteous, if discourteous is the word. You can't not take notes, have a format. There's no reason for you not to turn it into somebody else. And look, if you don't separate yourself from the rest of the marketplace, you're not going to get an appointment. Okay? Learn these.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. True or false? Your first responsibility when speaking to a client is to have a bad attitude and be unprofessional.
False.
False.
So you guys are listening.
That was kind of a.
That wasn't common sense or anything. Before getting the buyer's name, number, and email, you should be responsible for which of the following first. Select all that apply. Have a positive attitude.
All of the above.
I'm sorry? All the
All
above?
of the above.
Okay, good. Nice. Good job. And third question. How should you follow up on a call with a prospective buyer? Select all that apply. Text, email, phone call, or
All of the above.
all of them. Great job. I see Sarah's taking notes. I see her with her head down and she's answering all the questions right. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so we've talked about what they want. We've talked about what you want, and we talked about what you have to accomplish in this call and how you need to operate. Now let's talk about the type of calls you're going to get. There's not 2 million different calls, okay? There's not an infinite number. Infinite means it goes on and on forever. There's a finite number of calls that you'll ever get. Number one, there's a price call. It's important for you to know what kind of calls so you can prepare for it. All right. So number one, price calls. I have a price call I have to handle. How much is it? How much is it? I got to know how much it is. Number two, there's an advertisement call. Some call generated from TV, radio, print, direct mail, or the internet. Three, there's the availability call. Do you have a specific unit? Do you have a specific product? Do you have a specific necklace, 18 inches in yellow gold in this price range? I saw it in your magazine, a specific call. Four, there's general calls about the product. Does it do this? Does it do that? What's the warranty on it? Will it do this? You know, different types of product calls or general questions where they're not yet clear about whether the product does or does not satisfy their needs. Number five, there could be appraisal calls. What's my house worth? What's this product worth? These calls could tell you a number of different things. What's my car worth? What's this contract worth if I wanted to sell it? You know, so some of you basically sell products or services that have value at the end of their term or somewhere in the length of their contract where they can actually be sold or traded in, and you might get that call. Number six, down payment calls. Hey, if I buy the kitchen set or the living room set, or do I need to put money down? It's a down payment call. It's basically, do I need to put money down, or how much do I need to finance, or can I get financing? 7, interest rate calls. 8, credit problem calls. For any of you doing installment sales, you're going to hear down payment, interest rate, and credit problem calls. Number 9, product information calls. Okay, specific information about that product. 10, you're going to hear this, send me information calls. I'm calling in. I just want you to send me information on this product. 11, hey, I'm calling for someone else. Okay, I'm calling for my daughter, my husband, my brother, my uncle. Hey, I'm calling for my boss. Tough call. I'll show you how to handle it. Number 12, the reality is one call could include all of these, okay? More than likely, you're going to get a combination of requests out of one phone call. So look, you could break them apart. I'm telling you what each of these calls is going to be about, but understand all of this could come in one call. How much? What's mine worth? What are your terms? How much money down? What would the payments be? Okay. Hey, and do you even have it? And by the way, can you just send me some information? Literally, I could get 7 or 8 different types of calls combined in one. The reality is all these calls are different. They're all different, okay? Every one of them, number 1, number 4, number 7. All these calls are going to have different personalities on the other end, different voice tones, different qualities. One could be male, female. One could be from the north. One could be from the south. All these callers are going to start a little different. They might end up in a little different place with so many different things going on, okay? The last thing you need to do is be different. See, if there's a million things going on around me, I can be stable. I can be the consistent factor. I don't want me to have a million things going on too. Then I got 2 million things to handle. So what I'm telling you here is this: with a lot of different personalities and a lot of different calls, the first thing we got to get handled is you being stable. Okay. Number 1, aware of what is coming at you is the first way to get stable. I want to know what's coming at me. Number 2, I want to know exactly how I'm going to handle each of these calls so that I don't have or add more inconsistencies to already so many inconsistencies. Okay. Number 3, know your game here. Know your game and know it well. Okay. Know what you're going to do Be consistent on your side so you can handle the different types of calls. The price call, different than the advertisement call, different than the availability call, different than the general call, the appraisal call, the down payment, the interest rate, the credit card, the credit problem call, the product information, send me some information. Hey, I'm calling for someone else, or all of them combined. Know them well. You'll master the game, man. I'm telling you, you're going to separate yourself from everybody, all the other players in the marketplace, and give yourself a distinct advantage.
Okay, guys, true or false? Every call you get, you should handle it the same way because all callers are looking for the same information.
False.
False.
All right, what can prepare you better when handling incoming calls? Select all that apply. Knowing what's coming at you, knowing how to handle each of these calls to avoid
All of the
inconsistency.
above.
Or all of the above. Okay. True or false? A single phone call could indicate a combination of different personalities and requests.
True.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue on.
Okay, things you have to avoid in this call for you to be a great pro master and make money out of this incoming sales call. Number one, never handle a call when you're preoccupied. Look, if you got a 3-year-old in your hands, don't do this call. It's the worst thing to hear a baby crying right in your call. It's actually magnified. So, and not to mention, you can't give full attention to that call. Number two, never tell the buyer that you don't have what they want. I don't care if you don't have it. Don't tell them you don't have what they want. You're not helping them. Oh, I got to be honest with everybody. Look, you're not helping anybody when you say, I don't have it. We can't help you. We can't do that. I walk into a hotel. I need my room upgraded to a suite. We can't do that. Even if you can't, don't tell me right now. It's a customer dissatisfaction issue. Number three, never handle the call without your script, your format, or your phone card. The phone card that we use is basically a bunch of prompts with empty boxes and you fill it in. It's a great tool for you to use. Number four, never, ever, ever, ever give one price on one product, okay? We're going to give, if we do, we're going to give multiple prices on multiple products, but never one price on one product. Number five, never say you can't, never say you won't, never say you don't know, and never say not until. We can't, I don't know, we can't tell you that, not until, I got to do this, this, and this first. Don't do that, it's going to kill you. Remember, these are avoids. Number six, because right now you're thinking, man, I do the first five right now, what am I doing? You're watching this so you can learn what not to do. Okay. Number six, never say not available. We don't have it available. It's not in yet. We don't have it yet. I'll show you what to say so that you can do it in a way that's professional and ethical. Okay. Number seven, never say we can't do that. I don't care if you can't do it. Don't tell them you can't until you can at least present your product. Remember, 50% of your clients are on the wrong product anyway. So you saying, oh, we couldn't sell it for that. Can't sell it for what? You're not even on the right product. They're not going to buy that product. Okay. Number eight, never argue with the caller. You're not going to win this. Not from a distance. You probably won't win it 4 inches from them. The last thing you want to do is try to win it 40 miles from them. Number nine, never avoid asking. Never don't ask. Never avoid asking for name, number, and email address. Name, cell number, and email address. Well, I don't want to pry too much. Look, you're in the wrong business if you're not going to pry. They called you, they asked you for information. The only reason you think that name, number, and email is a prying is because you're not offering them enough information to get to them to be of service to them. Number 10, never, ever give them or keep them on one product. This is a major mistake. Never keep your client on one product. If they called about a Rolex watch in gold, Submariner, black face, okay, I would not keep them on one product. I would say, hey, I'd be happy to get that for you. I'm also going to get you this, this, and this too. I don't want any of that. No problem. I could still basically get them information on multiple products. Even if he says, no, I just want that one, that even worked. Okay, so we don't want to keep them on one product if at all possible. Number 11, never offer an appointment without offering choices first. Most people are not going to come see you for that gold Submariner black face Rolex. Okay, They will leave to come see you for maybe some other possibilities they haven't considered. Could I do the gold one with the black face? It would save you $3,000 because I just got one in from a guy that bought it 4 months ago that wore it twice and it saved you $3,000. Ah, gets him what he wants and saves him money. And it might give him more reasons to get out of his office and come see you. Number 12, never get off the call without selling your name. Okay. There's a lot of ways to sell your name today with technology. Okay. Whether it's social networking, texting, video, even sending people video. And this is who I am. This is the watch. This is who I am. And basically he gets to see who I am by sending video out. Okay. Number 13, never end a call without sending out some type of follow-up. Okay. I was kind of sliding into that in the last one where I could start using emails, texting. I could use video send out, follow-up, mail, any of that. Number 14, never blame the customer for anything. Look, you blaming them is not going to get you a deal. You need to know these things verbatim. Practice them until you can memorize them. Literally, sometimes I will sit up against a wall, sit against that wall and just do this until I memorize something perfectly, okay? So here they are, okay? I got them. Do you? Never handle the call when preoccupied. 2, never tell the buyer you don't have what they want. Number 3, never handle a call without a phone call, card, or script in front of you. Number 4, never give one price on one product. Number 5, never say you can't or won't, or that you don't know or not until. Number 6, never say not available. Number 7, never say we can't do that. Number 8, never argue with the caller. Number 9, never avoid asking for name, number, email address. Number 10, never give them information on one product. Number 11, never offer an appointment, ask for an appointment without offering choices. Number 12, never get off the call without selling your name. 13, do you know them in order? I do. Never end a call without sending out some type of follow-up. And 14, never blame the customer. Know these verbatim.
True or false? You should always be multitasking when on the phone.
False.
True or false? If you don't have what the caller is looking for, it is best to be upfront and tell them so they can call another
False.
bit that may have it for them. False. Okay. True or false? The best way to handle a potential customer's inquiry is to give only the information they requested.
False.
True or false? Never argue with or blame the caller.
True.
Okay, true or false? Selling your name is no longer practiced in modern sales calls.
False.
Yeah, how many times have you guys sold your client a totally different house than what they were looking for?
Always.
Oh, it never happens the way they come in and tell you. Gotta continue.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you the reasons you'll blow this phone call. Okay, these are the only reasons you're going to blow the call. It will never be because of the client. Number 1, your attitude sucks. It's bad. It's a bad attitude. It's not the attitude of a salesperson. It's the attitude of a bad attitude person. 2, preoccupied with other things will cause you to blow a phone up. Okay. 3, distractions during the calls. You drift. You go over here. You see some other opportunity. You lose it. 4, you're unprepared mentally. You do not know what you're doing. Hey, no offense. You probably shouldn't be taking this phone call. You're blowing opportunities. In this economy, you cannot afford to miss one deal. When you have a bad attitude, you're not prepared, and you're not focused, okay, you're costing your company money, and more importantly, you're costing your family money. Number 5, you don't take the incoming call serious. Oh, if they wanted some, if they wanted furniture for their house, they'd come in and look at it. Why are they calling it? They wanted to buy, if the guy wants to buy a $500,000 boat, he would come in and look at it. Hey, you're wrong, okay? You're not taking these people seriously, and you're blowing opportunities because of it. Number 6, talked about this a number of times, okay? 98.8% of all salespeople are taking phone calls without a format or a track to run on. It is a mistake. Number 7, you're not trained. Hey, glad you're here. Glad you're doing this, okay? There's a lot of different levels to train at. The fact that you're watching 2 segments a day and you're doing a sales meeting every day on this material, that's great. But look, that's not training by itself. You need to be drilling this in. You need to be doing the memory exercises to the wall. You need to be practicing how to use that format. Train and drill and build muscle. Number 8 reason you blow calls. You don't treat the call like it'll be a sale. Some people can take the call serious, but then they don't take the next level and say, hey, I'm going to treat it like a sale. This is going to be a deal, completely different level. Number 9, you wait for the customer to come to you rather than ever offering, hey, why don't I come to you? I had a State Farm agent call me one day. Hey, I need a price on this, this, and this. I'm about to buy something. I said, great, let me get you all the information. I'll fax it, I'll email it, I'll text it. He's like, yeah, I just want some numbers. Good, sir. I need to know where to get the numbers to, though. I mean, I know you're shopping. I know you're serious. I need to know where to get the numbers, the terms, the contract, everything. He says, look, no, I'm not buying. I'm just shopping. No, I got it. I'm with you, man. Okay. Right. Look, I took the guy so serious. I don't just take him serious. I know I'm going to make a sale out of it. I said, sir, where are you located? I want to send you all the information so you can look over it. He's like, I'm 26 miles from you. No problem. I'm going to send all the information to you. I got in a vehicle, drove to him, brought my product, presented it to him. My competition was 2 miles away. And I closed the deal. Most of you wait for people to come to you. It's wrong. I've even heard people on the phone doing this. Oh, we're only this far away. Come see us. Look, if they're only that far away, go see them. That's how you create an economy. Okay. Okay. Another reason you can blow this is you don't give people choices before you ask for an appointment. Hey, come on in. I have what you want. You're only giving them one reason to come in. You need to give them lots of reasons. So you got it? That's why you're going to blow the calls. What are the most important things to accomplish on the call? Number 1, got to make a strong impression. Remember the State Farm agent? I mean, I killed the guy with my impression. My impression doesn't sell him anything, though. 2, I got a name and number and an email address. Number 3, I got an appointment. Hey, when can you come see me? Grant, I'm not coming to see you. So what I do? Hey, no problem. Will you be there the rest of the day? I want to get you all the information. I jumped in my truck and I drove to him. Number 4, sell myself on the phone, sell myself in person. 5, sell my name. 6, give him reasons to come to me or give me reasons to go to him. I need to give me reasons and then him reasons to say, hey, I'll be in here the rest of the day. By the way, that's what I did with that phone call. I didn't say, hey, can I come see you? Because you're going to shut me out. I said, what? Will you be there the rest of the day? I want to be sure you get your package. And then I drove to him. And 7, follow up this call. Look, if they don't agree to come in at 4 o'clock, or even if they do agree to come in at 4 o'clock, you might want to follow up the call. John, Grant Cardone's 3:15. I want to follow up the call. Be sure you're still coming in. Be sure you got the information I sent you. Okay. Yeah, Grant, I'm still coming in at 4. Excellent. See you then. Any other information I can give you? Any questions you have since we hung up? Yeah, well, by the way, Grant, I do have some questions. Look, man, answer them, handle them, follow them up. Know the reasons for blowing the call and know what you need to do. Attitude first. 2, you're preoccupied. That'll blow a call. Distractions with other calls. You're unprepared. You don't take the call serious. Number 6, you don't have a format to run on. 7, you're not trained. Watching a video is not training. Okay. Number 8, don't treat the call like it's going to be a sale. Number 9, you wait for the customer to come to you rather than you going for them. And number 10, you don't follow them up with more information. And 11, you didn't give them enough choices to actually come see you or say, hey, can you come show it to me right away? Learn these, learn them well, man. I'm telling you, I'm setting you up to kill, not just on the incoming call, but all the other calls that we're going to teach you later. You're going to have the basics of this call down.
True or false? You need to be mentally prepared to take a call.
True.
True, absolutely. True or false? Most incoming calls come from serious buyers.
False.
Guess it must be true.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would be surprised about that. True or false? Since you have the product, the customer should always come to you.
No, false.
When should you provide the customer with options? Select all that apply. Before they come in, after they arrive, both or neither?
Both.
Both.
True or false? You should make a strong impression on the initial call.
True.
All right, good. Okay, great job on this module. So let's talk a little bit about what Grant said in this last part right here, where you should prepare yourself for the call. How many of you guys are nervous or sometimes reluctant to make the call or take the calls? Maybe not taking the calls probably aren't as hard unless you're a brand new agent, but definitely making the calls is very difficult for a lot of people. So it's really, at the end of the day, it's a psychological game that we play, just like if we were about to go on the field to play a sport, or, you know, maybe on first job interview or something like that. It's really our mindset and how we prepare ourselves for it. And the only way you're going to get good at that is by consistently doing it. And what I've told a lot of the agents over the years is, I don't think it's wise for you to be practicing with your own money, because when you're screwing up phone calls in real life, you're possibly losing thousands of dollars by making those practice attempts on the field and in person. I think that you should be practicing those as much as possible with your accountability partners, with your spouses, with your loved ones, family members, anyone that'll give you time. Because really, at the end of the day, it's no different from an athlete, no different from an actor memorizing their lines. And the ones that rise to the top are the ones who practice the most. You know, nobody, I think, is born gifted, perfect at everything. Everyone has to hone their skills. Some people are better at other things than others, but at the end of the day, everybody has to hone their skills. So what I'd like to do now is kind of like ask you guys, like, does anyone have, first of all, ask you guys, does anyone have a routine that they do before they make difficult phone calls? Does anyone have any tips they'd like to share?
I like to be standing up and walk around.
Yeah, standing up and walking around. What does that do for you, Alejandro?
It gets me prepared mentally. Plus, I'm more like active when I'm talking. Since I don't want to be sitting down, like, you know, like they're gonna hear me like I'm lazy, you know, just sitting down.
You get your tone up, you get your voice up, you get your energy up. Yeah, that's great advice. Anyone else?
If I'm talking to a client where we've already looked at a piece of property, I have the MLS printed out in front of me with highlights of things that I think they might ask, and things that I want to make sure I know.
Nice. So you want to be prepared, makes you feel better for that call, being prepared.
Correct.
Yeah, some people do their research before they make a call. You know, other people, they make sure that they have all the information about the client on, you know, before they call. They do some investigating on Facebook to see if they have any mutual friends, you know, whatever makes you comfortable, you know, that's part of the process. What I think works really well for myself is you want to kind of prepare yourself mentally, doing some breathing exercises, getting a lot of oxygen into your body. Like Alejandro said, stand up, maybe do a little exercise. I can't start the day without doing some form of exercise. That kind of prepares me, gets oxygen into my brain. But if you can't, just stretching and doing some jumping jacks or some push-ups right before you make some calls will make such a difference. I'm telling you guys, it may sound crazy, but it really does work. It gives you the energy, you know, give yourself a few minutes so you're not huffing and puffing when you make the call. Drink a lot of water, water in the morning, maybe your first cup of coffee, but do the water before the coffee. You know, all of these things will get you in the right mindset to be making these calls. And what we've done a lot of times with agents who are just starting to get the hang of things is before they make their calls, they spend 30 minutes role playing with an accountability partner. I know a lot of us say, you know, that's a great idea, but not a lot of us do it. Not a lot of us actually even take the time to do it. And the ones who have had a lot of success with prospecting have also spent the time with the role play. Like Alejandro on this call, he's done tons and tons and hours of role play with other agents. I've seen it myself. I know there's other people on this call who have also attempted to do such things, and some of you have even gotten the accountability partner. But are you guys holding yourselves really accountable for that? Are you guys really pushing each other on to do that? And I'll tell you what, guys, any conversation can be mastered. You just have to have practiced it enough times where there really isn't a better answer or a better way to lead a conversation than what you may have already practiced with your partner. So for instance, let's just say we've got a reluctant seller who they need to sell and want to sell, and they keep throwing every excuse at the book at you. What happens a lot of times is that we just take their word as final, and that's it. You know, they say they need more time, or they want to talk to their wife, or they want to paint the garage first, or they want to take some time off because the market's too crazy, or if they sell, what are they going to buy? Like all of these questions, have you practiced them? So what I suggest you do is you take a pen and pad, or you take your notes, whatever you do to keep your notes and keep yourself organized, and write down top 20, the top 20 objections that you guys think you'll get, that you have heard other agents get, or that you have firsthand have received from sellers. Now write them down. And what I want you to do is practice them with somebody who will give you the time. Practice them with yourself, even if you have to. You know, like if someone says something to you and you know that you just got to practice that one line on how to respond to it, record yourself, watch yourself in the mirror. Like all of these things are very good. Along with knowing what to say, you got to know how to say it, because knowing what to say is only half of the equation. The other part of it is really knowing how to speak to people and how to have your tone. There's different ways that different people speak, and there's different theories about how you should speak to people, if you should match their tone, or maybe you should pick up their energy if their energy's down, or if you're facing a negative person, turn them into a positive person. Like there really is no wrong or right. You just got to be able to think on your feet and be agile, so you can turn a conversation in any direction that you feel is more comfortable to the other client. So for instance, if I've got someone on the phone who's a bit grumpy, maybe I'll make them laugh and say something somewhat funny. If the joke falls flat and they just really didn't appreciate it, then maybe I'll take a different approach and I go with a matter-of-fact approach. You know, it just depends. You guys have to keep practicing this and keep trying different ways, because everybody in this world is different. There's no two people that are going to be exactly the same. And you will get 100% of the people who want to work with you by making phone calls. Now, what do I mean by that? Making phone calls and getting people interested in what you have to say is the filter to your relationship. So if they like you on the phone, they're going to like you in person. If they don't like you on the phone, well, guess what? You're not going to have to worry about working with people that you don't work well with, or you don't mesh well with, because they've already filtered themselves out for you. Now, you could do certain things to make sure that you gain the majority of the people who would be willing to work with you, or you would be willing to work with them. But that all comes with time and emphasis. So that's the backstory of it. Now we know that there are certain things we should do to get ourselves prepared. Maybe put music in the room, maybe put some aroma therapy in the room, whatever you guys are into. For me, Alejandro and a lot of people, it's standing up, moving around, doing the workouts in the morning, getting the hydration into our bodies, breathing, meditation. Like all of these things really do work. At a Tony Robbins event, well, all the Tony Robbins events that I'm sure you guys have ever been to or will go to in the future, one of the things Tony says is that the first thing you should always do is change your state. If you're having a bad day, change your state. If you're about to do something important, change your state. Because physiology and the way that our bodies really interact with the action we're about to do really does pave the way for the way that things are pan out. So what I mean by that is that if you're about to do something uncomfortable, well, you need to make yourself ready, physically ready, not only mentally, but physically, because physiology is more on our body. You know, it's the way that we move and the way that we, the body language that we have. So what we could do is open up, you know, open up our breathing cavities by doing some stretches. You know, he even goes as far as saying you need to scream and go out there and just start screaming at the top of your lungs, because after you scream at the top of your lungs, everything else seems pretty easy. Now, I know you may not be able to do this in your office, but maybe lock yourself in the car if you want to try it, or maybe if you're home, go for it. If you're in the shower or something, this stuff actually works, guys. I'm being serious with you. I've seen Tony master it. I've seen other people do it. I've tried it. It really does work, but it doesn't have to be what works for you. It's just proof that what we put into our heads and what we put into our bodies is actually what we're going to put out into the world. So if that's not the right way for you, you'll figure out the right way to do it. Okay, so now once we've gotten ourselves prepared, all right, we're prepared. Now we're about to pick up the phone, or we're about to get started with our day of taking calls in. How do we have that positive mental attitude? How do we have that good vibe that people may want to work with? What is one thing that maybe one of you guys can give me some suggestions? What is one thing you want to do as soon as someone calls in, or as soon as you call out? What is one of the best things you can do to get that relationship going on the right foot? Give me one thing. Say what?
Build rapport by.
Build rapport, yeah. So give me more specifics on that.
If you were on a phone call, then follow it up with a text and and make sure it happens within 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, as soon as you get on a call, like the first 15 seconds, what do you want to do?
Strong intro and then build rapport by finding some commonality. Like, for example, with me, the people I'm calling are right down the street from me. So I'm like, hi, I'm your neighbor. I'm actually, and I just talk about where I live and, that I'm calling, to basically interview them for free and give them free advertising on there for sell by owner or whatnot. So I'm immediately strong intro, building rapport by saying I'm their neighbor and talking about the neighborhood and community. And then thirdly, I'm offering value.
Yeah. Tabby? Tabby?
Yeah,
Can I call you Tabby?
of course.
Oh, okay. How does that make you feel?
Like you're my friend.
There you go. So you wanna try to call the person by their name as soon as possible. You get a Robert, you might want to say Rob. You call in a Rob, or somebody calls in, it's Robert, and you got their name on your caller ID, Rob. If it's a lady, you can shorten her name if you ask permission to. Do your friends call you? What do your friends call you? Rob? May I call you Rob? Sure, no problem. You just built strong rapport because you just asked him what his friends call him, or if they have a difficult name to say, am I pronouncing your name right? Because sometimes people have a foreign name. So Sandeep, am I pronouncing your name correct? Is that the way that it's spoken? Yes, it is. Okay, great. That's awesome. You got a really cool name. Where are you from? Stuff like that. Everything but the sale. Those are the kind of things you want to do within the first 15 seconds. But the most important thing is the name. Nail the name, because there's nothing worse than calling someone by their name and pronouncing it wrong. How does that make the other person feel if they're pronouncing your name wrong the whole time?
You get the wrong cue card in front of you.
Yeah, man, they're like, I got the wrong guy, man. This guy makes me feel uncomfortable. So yeah, you want to make sure that you nail the name within the first 15 seconds. So whether they're calling you or you're calling them, you want to make sure that you get that part of the conversation right, because then that's going to pave the way for the rest of the conversation, because you're going to want to say their name as many times as possible throughout the call, because reiterating their name psychologically makes them feel comfortable with you. We're not here to play psychological mind games, but it's a way that you should start communicating with people in business, calling them by their name, addressing them by their name. If they're allowing you to use their shortened version of their name, then use the shortened version of their name. You don't always have to use the long, winded version of it. It might make them feel uncomfortable. If the person's name is Franklin and you keep calling him Franklin, well, the only person who calls me Franklin is my mother. Call me Frank. So it's the kind of things you want to make sure you get in the habit of. And then obviously you want to, you guys know this, you have to ask the right questions. You don't get the right answers and you don't get any of the ammunition if you don't ask the right questions. So if someone is, if you're calling in on someone and they might have an interest in selling their home, what is one of the questions you could ask? Anyone?
Can you ask them about the life event that's making them sell their home?
Yeah, but how do you know they even want to sell their home? Shouldn't you ask them first?
They're calling me, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Let's just say you called them. How would you even approach the question on the home sale? Because you just broke the ice, you got the name right, you did the intros, whatever you had to do there. I would probably skip an intro as far as intro with yourself too long, and you just kind of give them the reason why you're calling. So the purpose of my call today, or the reason why I'm reaching out to you, those are the kind of ways you want to lead up to a conversation. Now, can you give me some of that?
I can say, I don't know. I haven't been on the seller side yet.
Yeah, well, this is
but I can say that there's a lot of interest in the neighborhood that you live in.
Yeah.
And I do have a couple of buyers that already pre-approved, ready and willing, and would like to come and check out your home. Are you thinking about selling your home?
Yeah, okay, that's good. You led up with a reason why you're calling, and then you're asking them if they'd be willing to sell their home. So Sarah, well, thank you so much. I know this is a hot market, but my wife and I decided to wait a little while longer because, we were thinking to ourselves, if we sell right now, I know we can get a lot, but, we're also going to pay a lot if we move out.
I'm stuck.
How would you respond to that? Yeah, exactly. That's why we want to make sure we get this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, or whatever the person's name is, let's just say that, let's just switch roles and say, well, Sarah, you know what? You are 100% right. I'll have a lot of clients who think exactly the way that you do, but I'll tell you what, the thing you got to keep in mind is that home prices are always relevant, which means that if you buy if you sell for a lot of money, yes, you may have to buy for more money than you normally have in the past. But guess what? If the market were to take a downturn, well, what that means is that, yes, you'll get a better price on a home that you'll purchase, but you're also going to get less money for your house as well. So home prices are not going to be higher and go up by more percentage in your city and down by a lesser percentage in another city, unless we're talking about, maybe possibly moving out of state. But as far as you and your husband go, have you guys ever considered, moving out of this city? Because if what you're looking at is maybe getting cheaper housing, if you do sell this one for top money, maybe I can help you look for less populated areas in New Jersey, or maybe I can help you look into options in different states. Is that something you've considered?
Okay.
Can I add to it a little bit?
Go for it. Go for it. This is why we're here. We're just throwing in ideas. Go ahead, Belinda.
As I'm prospecting lately, I notice a very sensitive subject for sellers, and that's talking about the age of home.
Age of their home. Okay.
If you start talking about the age of their home, you will keep them on the phone for more than 10 minutes.
Why so? Because I guess in Georgia, most homes were built within the last 20, 30 years, or some are older?
Some are older, but when you start talking about the age of a home, now they don't want to do roof work. And you have a lot of new subdivisions coming into play.
Okay.
And some of them are maybe getting ready to retire, and you want to be able to move them into an active community subdivision where they do less maintenance. But the upkeep and the repairs, when you start talking about the age of the home, then you have to talk about, well, have you upgraded this and have you upgraded that? And then when they start thinking about those number pileups, now they're going to start looking at something newer.
Okay. Now, when you say they're going to want to start looking at something newer, we're talking about buyers here, or we're talking about sellers?
We're talking about sellers.
Sellers?
Yeah, you could pique the seller's interest by enticing them with something newer.
Oh, you mean a newer home for them? Their options.
Yeah.
Now they got less headaches, they got less insurance, they got to pay.
Yes.
Oh, got you. Okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And I think in a lot of these southern states, we got problems with termites and older frame homes. Now a lot of new homes are cement, cinder block, whatever the case is, and the insurance prices have gone through the roof for homes that are frame versus homes that are made of masonry. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things there that you can probably utilize to help somebody make a better decision. The other things I guess you could really motivate a seller with too is quality of life. Have you ever considered getting a bigger home, or are you an empty nester? Do you want to maybe downsize? Because at the end of the day, the money may not be the motivator. The money could be secondary, and maybe quality of life is number one, right?
I agree.
Right. So how do we ask somebody about their quality of life without intruding too much or sounding like we're, a detective trying to figure out, what their next move is?
Simply asking them if the house that they're in is their forever home.
Yeah, that sounds like a great intro. So use that on me, Belinda. So yeah, Belinda, we've considered selling before. We just don't know if this is the right time for us because homes are really expensive. I know we can get a lot for the home, but we're gonna have to pay a lot too.
This may be true. Have you thought about this being your forever home? Is this a place that you can look around and want to do some more upgrades and repairs and then just make this your ultimate family place that you can leave behind for someone else? Well,
I wouldn't call it our forever home. This was kind of like our starter home, and we've kind of just grown into it. We're comfortable here. I wouldn't mind spending a few more years here, but I would definitely like to be a little bit closer to the ocean. We're a little bit far right now, a couple hours away. So yeah, that would probably be my ideal situation.
What would it take for this to be your forever home?
This home that I'm in now,
Yes.
we'd have to pick it up and move it into a different town. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm feeling like a little claustrophobic in this small town. I want to get into like a bigger city. There's not a lot of things to do around here.
Okay, so I'm hearing that you need less maintenance, perhaps?
Less maintenance, not so much as far as less maintenance. I would just like to have a maybe a newer style home. It would be a good idea, but something closer to, because we do a lot of fishing and we do a lot of water activities. But right now it takes us about 2 hours to get to the nearest beach.
Understand. Do you have a current town near the water in mind? And if you can paint for me your perfect picture.
Perfect picture would be a home.
Yeah, the interior of the house,
Yeah.
exterior, interior of the house. I pretty much have a good idea about the area and the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
But let me know, what is your dream home? Where would you like for it to be that you don't have to move?
Well, you know what? Something a little bit bigger than what we have now. We have a 3-bedroom. We wouldn't mind having a 4-bedroom, or maybe something with a guest house on the property. Right now, we have a lot of family to visit from time to time, and we're a little bit displaced when they do. So maybe something with an extra bedroom, a little more square footage, and a newer style. Doesn't have to be brand new, but maybe something that isn't as old as what we have right now. We are starting to see some wear and tear, so that, and I like maybe an acre of property would be nice. My neighbors aren't on top of me.
Awesome. What time frame are we looking at?
Well, that's the thing. We're not in a rush because we're scared that what we're looking for is possibly out there, but it's going to be a lot more than what it would have cost us last year. So we're kind of just waiting for the market to kind of come back down to reality.
Okay, I understand that, but I believe that if you start looking now, and we have some comparatives out there that may pique your interest, everybody's motivated by different things. So I suggest that we start looking now. And if you don't mind, I have some lenders that I would like you to consider, unless you have someone else that you're working with. But I say, let's make our next meeting and let's make a date, and I will go ahead and pull up some properties for you to look at. And let's see if we could go take a peek at them, just to even see if this is really what you want.
Nice. Well, I like how you took the conversation into a conversation about helping them find their next home, as opposed to a conversation about selling their present home. You see how you did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it almost seems like you want to help. It almost seems like you want to help the seller, kind of have a better lifestyle without saying, I want to sell your home because I have buyers that are looking for a property. That sounds like you're solving a problem for the buyers, but you're not solving a problem for them. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you did that by asking the right question. So that's all really having conversations with sellers or buyers is, guys. It's just asking the right questions, asking what their needs are, their wants are. And at the end of the day, you're just a facilitator. You're just someone who's going to make it happen for them. So I would suggest practicing things like this, getting on a call with someone. There's a few agents here on the call who have already put their information in the chat, who say they want to team up with someone to make these calls. So feel free to reach out to them, or if you already have an accountability partner, make sure that you're putting these times on your calendar, because if it's not on the calendar, guys, it doesn't exist. It doesn't really happen. So make sure you take advantage of that. The other thing too that I want to make sure that you guys stay aware of is that these conversations are not just limited to real estate agents. I'm sorry, they're not just limited to buyers and sellers. You want to also keep real estate agents on your forefront as well, because like Belinda just mentioned, she's getting her first agent that she's sponsoring from what city is it in? Michigan, you said?
Yeah, she lives in Michigan.
Michigan.
And
Yeah.
she's going to transition to Georgia after her child graduates in 2023. But I started speaking to her about who she's with now and how does she plan on making a transition over to Georgia after moving brokerages. And so that was my wonderful entrance into, well, let me tell you about this. And I've moved her onto my website page where I have all my EXP explained. And I suggested that she watch the 3 videos, and she made an appointment with me, and that was it.
That's awesome. You know, what's funny is, you guys on this call who probably don't know this, I met Belinda through my YouTube videos, and now Belinda has her first agent because of her YouTube videos. So it just goes, it goes to show you guys, you know, there is no luck in this business. It's really the luck we create for ourselves. So the reason I'm telling you this is because as we're practicing our role playing with buyers and sellers, don't forget to throw in there a conversation with agents. The best way to start a conversation with agents is when you talk to an agent, you just ask them plain and simple, have you ever heard of eXp Realty? That's it. And they're going to say yes. And if they say yes, you got to practice your response for yes. If they say no, you got to practice your response for no. So that is I've called it the $1 million question. If you can memorize that one question, you will be better off than 99% of real estate agents out there, because you're going to start to build an organization that's going to bring you supplemental income along with those slow months where you're not closing any deals. You've got checks coming in that are going to cover your car note, your house note, your weekends out with the family. So you're really going to appreciate it when those days come. But those days will never come if you don't practice for those events. You know, I know a lot of us probably know agents from our real estate school. You probably know agents from the deals that we do. You know, agents from your previous offices. But none of us have taken the opportunity to go ahead and make those calls and ask them if they would even consider looking at it, not even selling it to them. But hey, listen, we should take a look at this 9-minute video and give me your feedback on it. You know, I really love to know your opinion on it. So simple as that. Simple as that. Anyone else want to add to this call before we go?
Louis, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If somebody calls you about a certain property,
yes,
and this is the only one they're interested in,
Mhm.
and it's under contract,
Yes.
how do you kind of like
How do you come about that?
yeah, and how can you keep them?
You have to provide value beyond what they're looking for. Like Grant said in the training here, most of the time people call, you know, it's your job to get, remember, that's even what I asked you, how many times have clients bought houses that, you know, that they didn't think they were going to buy?
Never.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's
So-
always a different house.
Yeah, so I created a script and I'll send it to all you guys when we're done here. And the script kind of goes like this, you know, because 99% of the time people call in for a house, the house is probably under contract anyway, right? So what happens is you just call in, and it's like, it's simple as this. So you first thing you do is you get their name. Sorry, I didn't get your name. What was your name? Right, so you would say, my name is Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sarah. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for calling in. But I do have to tell you this much. You would not believe the amount of people that were at this house over the weekend. It must have been the 20 families that were at this open house. And that's the majority of the situation with homes nowadays. So unfortunately, that house is no longer available, but I do have some really good news for you. There are a lot of houses going to be coming up on the market very soon. And what I like to do with clients that are serious about buying a home is I like to meet with them and talk to them about the possibility of getting them first look at these homes that aren't on the market yet. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Oh, of course.
Okay, well, if that's the case, let's meet this weekend at Starbucks around 10 a.m. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the properties that are probably soon to come on the market. Now, that works a lot of times if people are serious. If they're not serious, if working with another agent, then they're going to say no. But this, you will definitely filter out a lot of people by approaching it this way. And when you do, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, now I committed to something and I've got no homes that are coming on the market soon. Well, that's up to you now. You call up the top agents in your office, you call up the top agents in your area, and you go on Facebook Workplace and you ask around, does anyone have any listings that are coming up on the market soon? You know, you get that insider information. If you can't get it with a real estate license, then I'm sorry, you're in the wrong business. You know, like this is information that you should be easily able to get. And then once you meet with the client, you know, you let them know about these 1, 2, or 3 properties that might be coming up soon. But the important thing is that you got the face-to-face meeting. When you get a face-to-face meeting, your chances of working with that person go up exponentially. And that's time well spent. And if you're paying for these leads and you're not converting them, well, now you know why, because you're just an order taker. If the order is available, you give it. But if there's no order available, well, you got to flip it into something else. Like Grant said in this training, you got to flip it into you. They called in thinking they were calling in for a house, but at the end of the day, they're calling in for you. And you got to make it that way. But subconsciously, they think they're still here for a house, but they're here for the professional, which is what you're going to deliver. Does that make sense, Sarah?
Oh, 100%.
Good. So,
You know, I always said to them, are you interested in seeing similar properties? Some said yes, some said no, but I like your script a lot better of meeting face to face, even if I don't have anything available.
Yeah, the reason why is because if they say, if you say, are you interested in seeing something else? Well, because of Zillow, they don't need you to see something else. But if you give them something that they can't get themselves, then now you become valuable.
True.
Yeah, good. All right.
True.
Can
Thank
I
you.
say something to what you said last week, Louis?
Yeah, go for it.
About houses being under contract, the agent still must show it.
Yeah.
Well,
you can still
since
show
you
it.
said it, I ran into that exact same issue, and this goes to you too, Sarah. Client interested in the house that was marked under contract. I called because it was only on the market for 4 days. And I said, my client would like an opportunity to see the house. The agent was reluctant a little bit. And then he said, well, it's under contract. And I said, what Louis said, well, nothing's sold until a check crosses the table. And he says, very well, I will go ahead and use Showtime and make the appointment. So I took my client to see the property. And lo and behold, right after that, the agent now calls me every other day to see if my client wants to use that as a backup offer. Because now all of a sudden, what looked to be solid is not solid. So I would say, if it's under contract, find out how long it's been, if they're still in their due diligence period. But still, I would still take the serious buyer to go see the property. And after you see the property, make sure you have that exclusive buyer brokerage agreement and sign off on it and lock them in and make them your client. You've already spent the time, you've already gone above and beyond to show them something that was potentially not on the market. And
Good.
then you go ahead, you always have something else lined up. You show that property that's under contract, and then you have something already made an appointment for that is a good comp, something that matches what they were looking for. And therefore, you know exactly what they're looking for. You build a rapport with them because now they see that you're above the rest and not just a door opener.
Absolutely. That's what we
Thank you.
I love that, Belinda. Nice.
I'm glad you got a lot of value out of last week's training, Belinda. That's great that you put that to practice. Like Belinda said, if anyone missed it last week, we spoke about the fact that even if a home is under contract, you're technically still legally allowed to show that home until the home closes. Now, a lot of times the agents don't want to continue showing it just because it's more work for them. But if they truly explained it to their client that, hey, listen, you should continue showing your home because a lot of times these deals fall apart. So why not have a backup offer? So it may work, it may not work, depends on if the seller wants to continue showing it. But if your client is really serious about that house, I think you should make the effort like Belinda did. You lose nothing. You lose nothing by trying that. Okay. Anyone else?
Do you have the recording from last week, Louis?
I do not. I'm sorry. I was.
Okay.
You know what? I think I do. Yeah. Let me check my computer. I don't think I uploaded it, but I think it's still in my database. If I do, I'll upload it and send it to you. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem at all. Anyone else?
What I appreciate, Louis, when you said get face-to-face as soon as possible, what I've noticed on the calls from the Premier agent.
Yeah.
Almost always the customer feels back on their heels when they switch from the Zillow conversation to me as the EXP sales agent.
Yes.
But I have learned that the first thing I try to do is get them to meet me somewhere for a cup of coffee, because if I can meet them face to face or have an extended conversation, everything seems to change. And it goes from I'm very, very distant as an outsider to all of a sudden I'm the person that can help them. So I'll take that one to the bank when you said suggest getting together with them. To me, that's a big step. It
is. That's really the only thing you want to accomplish on a phone call is getting in front of them. And I know Sophie brought up a good point that we used to talk about a lot is, asking your client 3 questions and pre-qualifying them before meeting with them. But a lot of people don't want to give you that information, and they'll give you false information just to not have to meet with you. So I think like Brent was saying, and I think I've come to terms with it as well, is that meeting a client is never a bad use of your time, unless you've got.
Louis, I really like I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I
go
really like your idea about going on workplace and asking the question if anybody has a coming soon listed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that. You know, I don't know why I never thought about that. I always reached out to people in my office and I asked them if they have anything coming soon. But yeah, now I have access to thousands of agents on workplace.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and with that being said, I think this month, if everything goes well, we might be flipping the numbers with Remax. We might have more agents in New Jersey than Remax. So
Good.
yeah, that's gonna be and you used to be with Remax, Sarah, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but you know, it's totally different culture being with EXP.
Yeah.
I always felt like Remax was cannibals.
Was a little bit what? Say it again. Remax
They're
was-
like cannibals.
Oh, cannibals. They eat each other.
Yes.
That's crazy.
You know, it's very nasty competition and nobody was helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I see the total opposite here. I mean,
Yes, the culture here is very peaceful, very helpful. Everybody's so sweet.
yeah, we've got guys in this company making millions a month, willing to talk to you, take pictures with you, you know, have conversations with you, give you access to, you know.
You're the
stuff.
perfect example.
So I remember at the Vegas trip, we bumped into Brent Gove a bunch of times, and he just kept, you know, just helping and sharing, and just very, very nice guy. Even the CEO, come on, this guy's a billionaire. You don't need to be hanging out with us. He's, you know, he's standing at the trainings instead of sitting. He's running 5Ks with us. Like, you don't see that in too many companies.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes, the collaboration is everything here. Like,
Yes.
you don't feel no competition. It's all collaboration.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, anyone else? Good. All right, well, let's go ahead and get our week started.
I want to share something really quick. Sorry.
Please, Ivania, go ahead.
So this month I paid my rent with rev share and mentorship. So yeah, that was good.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so great. That is really that is motivation, guys.
Right.
That is great. All right, so let's continue doing that, and imagine where you're going to be in 5 years. Ivania is going to say, guys, this month I paid for my villa in the south of France, and I paid for my helicopter with the
Can't wait.
I just want to say the end of 2022. Let's get it popping.
Santa Claus, man.
Yeah.
Deliver one of those puppies over here.
For sure. Yeah, that good thing you brought that up. This week is Christmas, so hopefully everybody has you know, some time to enjoy with their families and their loved ones, and hopefully you guys not get what you've always wanted, but give what you know that everyone else needs. So make sure that you keep that first in mind, guys, that there's a lot of people out there who need a lot more than what that we do, and we're blessed for sure.
Can we have the full screen? I want to take a photo.
Oh yeah. Are we on full screen? Oh, you mean have everyone turn their cameras on?
No,
and then there is the thing in the middle.
There's something. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take this thing off. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, is that better?
Yes, smile. Thank you.
No worries. Perfect. Yeah, guys. So when we're done here, I think I have everyone's email address. I'll send you the script that I just went over with. I think it was Sarah. I just went over the script with. Yeah, it was.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll send you guys that script, and I'll send you. And what I'll also do is, if I find the recording from last week, I'll also send it to you, Tammy. Cool.
Thank you.
Brent, would you mind taking us out on a prayer this week?
Pardon me?
Would you mind taking us out on a prayer this week?
No, I'd love to.
Go for it, brother.
God, a long time ago, you loved us so much, you demonstrated that in 98.6 degrees when Jesus was born in the most unlikely of places for a king to be born. And would you help us to allow our mind to drift toward the important, the really essential, the eternally essential? And let us be about your kingdom before we're about our own empire. So God, I thank you for these friends that are kind of plutonic. I don't know any of them except Louis face to face, but I know that we're trying our hardest to be responsible to be men and women of integrity. Would you help us toward that? And in this season, where we're going to have at least a change of pace for the next 7 to 10 days between Christmas and New Year's, would you help us to reflect on that which is going to last forever? Not the wood, hay, and stubble that we sell, but the kingdom principles where we'll one day stand in your presence, Jesus, and we'll hear you say, well done. So help us toward this end, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Wow.
All right,
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Are we still on next Monday?
Yeah, I think so. Is next Monday New Year's Day or anything like that? Or are we
No,
good?
no.
No? Okay, then we're good. We're good. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this
Merry
call today.
Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.